Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the final Dream Sequence working live stream. That means tomorrow at 11:59 PST, 11:59 PM PST. That means your art's got to be in down to the second, all right? As soon as it hits Monday, the second, in LA time, then it's too late. All right, so what we're gonna do on stream, first I'm gonna show you how to not submit to these challenges to hopefully help you guys out and get your art in and pass all the tech specs and all that stuff. I don't want you guys to work so hard during this month and then be one frame off and get DQ'd from top 100. It's happened before. You guys know the spiel. We've been here before. A lot of you may not need this info who are actually with me live right now. But for the people who are catching this after the fact, I think it'll help some people out. No matter how many times I say it though, no matter how many times I show it, there's always people who submit a minute late, who submit a frame short. It's tough. So yeah, I'm always just trying to make sure that you guys submit properly. So we're gonna start with that. We're gonna go over that, and then I'm just gonna be working on art, honestly, because last week has been, this week really has been insane. Hence, us doing this on Saturday as opposed to Friday. I was filming basically every day from Saturday to up till Thursday, on set every day, for two separate things, which is very rare. It's rare that I'm on set and filming. But Saturday, Sunday was a fun commercial, and then Monday through Thursday, we're filming Nail House. It's a action comedy feature film, Matt and Freddy's second movie. I'm playing a role in that. Got a whole fight scene and everything with a really talented cast and crew. So that's been fun. I'm very sore. I was doing a lot of stunts. I can't wait for y'all to see it. And the movie, who knows when the movie will come out? Maybe like late summer or something. But yeah, we're getting back at it all next week too. Sunday, start up on Sunday. But what I'm trying to say is I hadn't got any work done on my art since we last streamed together. So I'm just gonna pick it right up. And after I get into tech specs with you guys, how to submit, then I'm just gonna be chipping away at my art. Let's take a poll. I'm very curious. Let's start a poll. So if you plan to submit, have you submitted yet? So this is only for the people who are planning to submit. I'm curious, because if everyone here has submitted, then maybe what we're about to get into won't help you. And I would hate, no, I'm not even gonna say it. Not even gonna say it. All right, so a little over half had submitted already. Wow, all right. Sweet. Sweet. Okay, oh, that number's going down. Get the poll in, y'all. All right, it's 50-50. Nice, you got your breakdown made. Very nice, cat. Okay, 56% of you have not submitted yet. So this is going to be for you here in just a moment. We're going to go over tech specs. If you guys have questions for me, as we do, hit me with an @pwnisher here in the chats here. And if you want to do a little super chat situation, I think it's $5 super chats and over get you a card draw, which, you know, you've seen me play hacky sack on the stream. You've seen me do workouts. Sometimes it's just drink some water, sit up or stand down, or sit up, stand up or sit down, and then sometimes you'll get assets as well. So that's fun. All right, y'all, let's get into how not to submit. There's actually a video that I made So to Monte, if you're free, could you actually link that video and pin it in chat? How not to submit to the challenges. Because that'll basically go over what I'm about to show you live here. So take a look at that a little bit later, but let's do it together right now. All right. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna download all of the renders on Monday. All right, basically when I wake up Monday 8 a.m. download all the renders. Okay, I'm gonna import all of them into DaVinci, right? So I highly recommend, like, this is how I'm looking at the tech specs. So just download DaVinci, it's free, and do it the exact way I'm doing it here. If you want to be ultra omega sure, I'm sure Premiere is fine too. Whatever, any editor is fine as long as it's displaying this the following info. You'll be good. But here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna throw all of the submissions into a folder on the media pool. I'm in the edit tab down here. That's the third one, and we got the media pool open, and we're gonna have 1,000+ renders in this folder. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it exactly like this. I'm going to make a new folder. It's called the Pit of Despair. It's a sad folder to be in. You don't want to be in this folder. And I'm gonna filter by, this is just an example, all right? This doesn't mean anything. This is the works in progress stuff, okay, that we've seen over the last couple weeks. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a folder called Pit of Despair, and I'm gonna filter by frames. And the tech specs state 120 frames per second. Let us go to the website. Let's check the tech specs. Let's pull this up. And we can scroll down to the tech specs right here, right in the middle. Boom. Resolution 1920 by 1080 or 3840 by 2160. We want 30 frames per second and we want 120 frames. So those are like the three that I'm gonna be filtering by. All right. So frames, all right. I'm gonna take everything that isn't 120 frames and I'm gonna put it in the Pit of Despair. Manishka, frame short, my friend. Again, this is not final. This is just an example. We're gonna throw all of these into the pit because they're not 120 frames. The next thing I'm gonna search for is resolution. Well, here's FPS. Everyone's at 30, so that's great. Resolution, we got 1920 by 1080. Yep, 1920 by 1080. These are all solid. 3840 by 2160, great. This one is not the proper resolution, so that would go into the Pit of Despair. All right. So we got all these Pit of Despair artists. Again, just an example. Thank you guys for being an example here. I'm gonna take all of these good ones here, all the ones that follow the tech specs, 120 frames, 30 FPS, proper resolution. I'm gonna bring those out into the timeline, all right, and start going through and being like, okay, let's check this one out. Okay, this one's cool. Let's move it up. This one's fun. Yeah, but we're not gonna move it up. This one's cool. We're gonna move it up, and we're gonna do that for all the thousands of renders we get. And the goal is to pick a top 200 by moving these like upgraded tracks, right? Hopefully have 200 of these, and then from there we whittle that down to top 100. The only thing that would get you DQ'd from this point is if you don't follow the camera specs. If you made your own camera and didn't follow these rules here, like if you're not like, you know, hitting your camera to the beat, you're not visualizing the beat on those proper keyframes, then that one will probably have to have a discussion about, oh, is it worth Does it mess up the flow of the montage so much that it needs to be DQ'd, or do we leave it in because we would rather just show everyone's art, because everyone was a part of this? We want to include as many as possible. We always want to include as many as possible, right? What if you don't follow the tech specs, or like it's pretty egregious and you're not following the camera specs? Most of that is like a DQ for top 100. You don't really, you won't be eligible for top 100. But I want to get as many people involved in the all renders as possible. The only ones that would be like kicked out of the all renders if it's like way too many frames long, if it's just another challenge, it looks like it's from another challenge or something, just something that would break the flow so much that it's like, this can't be in. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that helps you guys. Really, it comes down to these three things here: 120 frames, 30 FPS, 1920 by 1080, or 3840 by 2160. All right, this is how I'm checking it. So download DaVinci, check this stuff, okay? One thing to be careful of, all right, and I think this has got a number of artists DQ'd in the past. If you're using DaVinci and you select your render and you set the in and outs for your render right here, there's a world where sometimes this last frame is like extended or it's short like this, okay? Don't let that happen to you, because that would be an extra frame. That would be 121. That would be 119. Just make sure once you export it from DaVinci, goodness gracious, once you export it from DaVinci, bring it back in and triple check that it's the right number of frames. Please God, sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you have to. Like triple check. All right, guys. Don't want you DQ'd after all of this hard work that you guys have been doing. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense to everybody? If you have any questions on that, hit me with @pwnisher in the chat, and I'll answer any submission questions you might have, and then we'll move on to art. Beyonce superfan, there's only one render you can make, and that's Beyonce on stage. And yes, you're gonna have to do it in the next 24 hours. Go. Go for it. Have fun. I don't know. Start messing around. Just play. Just play. We have a few hours on stream here, so let's do it together. Sweet. All right, if you all got any questions about submission, I'm happy to answer. But I think it's time to hop back in to the art. So, like I said, guys, it's been an insane week. So we're picking up right where we left off last stream, all right? We're going to get this animation figured out. We're gonna clean it up. We're gonna add some screens so that once that like needle goes in, all the screens are gonna start flickering, and all the data will be downloaded into this robot skull. Right now it's looking like kind of like this, right? We're doing this projected text effect, which is really fun. And I'm probably gonna go with this like semi black and white vibe, and we'll see how far I can get. But it would be sick to have some like toon shader vibes going on, like anime vibes with everything. But yeah, we'll see how far we can get with all of this. It'll probably look something like that. Somewhere in between those. All right, question from Stet Dog. Can we crop the camera lens as long as the final resolutions line up? I don't know what that means. Can we crop the camera lens as long as the final res lines up? I don't know what that means. JBD, I am not growing my hair long. This is just my hair. Like, I'm so lazy. I hate putting gel in it and like product and making it all like a thing every time I film. Usually I'll just wear a hat, but like I just don't care at this point. I'm letting myself go. But nah, I can't wait to get a haircut. After we're done filming this movie, I'm like, it's haircut time. But I got another 2 weeks before I can do that. All right, let's see. Oh, what up, Sypo? Got Sypo in the chat. What's up, dog? Can I move the camera on the first half of my clip and no camera move on the second half? No. You have to move it at least the slow camera speed, which is twice. Frame 0 is like a lock-in. You move it up to frame 60 and lock in, and then move it up to frame 120 and lock in. Bars on the side. Yeah, I guess so. As long as it says 1920 by 1080 or 3040 by 2160. If you want to throw like bars on the side, go for it, I guess. Yeah. The final render does not need audio. Nope. Nope. And if it does, it's okay. I'm just going to delete it because we're going to replace it with the soundtrack from Brooks Alexander. You know, I've heard that from a couple people that this one has too much freedom. And we're taking note of that. Absolutely. I mean, each challenge is an experiment for us. So we always want to push things to see how far we can go. And this one was a good test. I'm really excited to see everyone's art. I can't wait. I've already seen some really cool submissions. So yeah, I get you. You know, having too many options, it's difficult. But we got to test it, you know? We got to test it. See what works, see what doesn't. So that the next challenges can be even cooler, you know? Yeah, let's take a look at what I've made so far. So here is my scene. All right, we got this machine moving. This is the intro, right? I hadn't done any work since the last stream because the week has been absolutely insane. So I'm going to clean up the animation on this stream. And that is going in the intro of the top 100. It's going to look something like this. And there's going to be a bunch of robot parts. The titles, there'll be like titles that'll be projected onto the conveyor belt, something like that. And then we'll land on the robot head and the arms will move and pick it up and start, the screens will kick up, all that good stuff. So I have quite a bit of work to do before the top 100 montage comes out, which by the way is March 15th. I think that's a Saturday. Yep, that's a Saturday, March 15th. We're going to be doing the top 100 live stream together. And as soon as that live stream comes out, it'll transition right into the top 100 montage and we'll all watch it together. It's going to be sweet. All right. let's get into some art here. So this first move is a little too fast for me. I want to scoot that back. And let's go ahead and make everything linear right now, just so it cleans up all of this stuff. So I'm gonna hit T and set it to linear. And G to grab and X to slide it. So this thing lands, all right, and then I want this to be slower. There's a lot of animation going on. This starts moving and doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So I want to move this back. Let's scoot all of this stuff back in time so that we can give a little bit more space for this move here. Okay. Oh, we got a super chat. Render Peach, my friend. Good to see you as well. Good luck on your submission. Thank you for that super chat. So, triple check your stuff, please. Triple check. Make sure you got those 120 frames, 30 FPS, 1080, or HD or 4K. All right, so this first move we need to get right. This is looking wacky, super crazy. Boom. That's where we want it to go. It's just doing a lot of wacky stuff. So this piece here is kind of controlling where the arm is looking. So what if I move it back, right? You see the arm a little tough to animate. Because if this is moving and that's not, it's always gonna be looking up there. I want it to be looking down onto the robot skull. Right there. And I feel like it just needs to go from here and slowly move down. Let's see. Let's something like that. We'll move this over. It's tricky because it's parented as well. I almost need it to not be parented. Let's check the influence. All right, we have this influence business. What happens if boom, influence goes there and it's locked in. So we want this to land right there. And this is also, is this moving? Interesting. It's like I can't change the location of that guy. So it's almost like this needs to move. This needs to start. Let's see. Let's give it a location keyframe. And I want it to kind of like be ready. Let's put it there. What is it? Shift S, selection. Cursor to selected, and then this needs to be selection to cursor. It's interesting that it's just moving that there. But as soon as I move out, it's actually moving everything. I don't know why. Why is it changing behavior? Yeah, it could be this. Yeah, this influence business. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this guy gets a keyframe. Location. Move here. And then I want to put it at the cursor. Yep. And make another keyframe. Oh, that's crazy. Why is it slipping over there? Okay, interesting. All right, so that's going where it needs to go. At least I think. Hold on, let me grab these guys. Cursor to selected. Why is it going there? Let's do set origin to geometry. And then we'll do maybe cursor to selected. It should go right in the middle. There we go. All right, and that is where we want this to be. Wonderful. All right, now we need this to land here, right on top, essentially. So this starts moving, and we want to get it to land essentially right over this. So let's select that, and we'll go cursor to selected, and we'll select this guy. There's a keyframe here. We'll go selection to cursor, and then I'm just gonna move it up so it's right above this thing. Yeah, right about there. And we'll make a location keyframe. Yeah, cool. One thing I want to make sure of is that we're not clipping, at least from this view. I don't care if we're clipping from down here, as long as it doesn't look like we're clipping from up here. And it looks like we're good. Awesome. Now it'd be cool if like this came out a little bit and then down. So maybe we take, let's find, it's the X location, I believe. Let's take that and look at that. We'll grab those and we'll set it to Bezier. And just give it a little bit of a curve to it. All right, so that's snapping a little too hard. Let's have it like come out a little bit. And maybe move that up or something. Let's try Y as well. Yeah, something like that. All right, we got some clipping here. This needs to go. I think I'm just deleting that. Yes, JBD, you are on it. We're gonna do that right after this. So now what we need to do is make sure that both of these are connected to this null, because I want to be able to move this and have everything else move with it. So we did a bit of that on the last stream. So let's see if we can't do that. That was with this influence business. This influence, we can set inverse here, turn it up to 100, and then now it's locked in. And then same deal here, set inverse, turn it up to 100, and now it works. That's what's up. So once this lands, boom, right there, we're gonna take the influence. Well, actually, I don't even know if I need to animate the influence. I do actually, because this thing is way up there now. So let's grab that guy, take the influence to 0. Let's grab this guy, take the influence to 0. And now it looks proper, right? So let's move forward, move forward, move forward. Right when it locks in right there, we're gonna make a keyframe here. And I'll select this one. We'll do the same, make a keyframe there. I'm gonna move forward a frame. And then crank it to 1, make that keyframe. Same deal here, crank it to 1, make that keyframe. So now the influence, nothing changes, right? Boom, it's locked in. And now after that moment in time, we can move around, whereas before it's not, right? Cool. HHH says if I batch a filter like in Photoshop or use other software that's over 6 years old to do so on a UE5 render, would that be considered generative AI? Absolutely not. Like, you just want to add like a paintbrush filter on top? No, that's not generative AI, not at all. Those are just filters. How do I like Blender in comparison to C4D? I really like Blender. I don't know. I feel like its navigation is really easy. The UI I think is really cool. I do miss a lot of the MoGraph tools in Cinema. I hadn't found where they are in Blender. I don't know if Blender has them. But for the most part, it's like it's all very similar. It's not like Blender is like way better or anything like that. It's all similar. And I'm finding, I guess, the right tutorials to, like, I know where stuff is in Blender for the most part. At least the things that I've been looking for, I know where they are. It's difficult when you change programs because it's like you just walked into your same house, but all of your stuff is in all the different drawers and you have to re-find it again, right? It's a little bit like that. So I found most of my stuff from Cinema, right? I found all the stuff. But yeah, I really like the way you navigate around Blender. It's very intuitive. The whole like grab, GR and S, all that stuff. It's very fun. I like it. It makes a lot of sense to me. Dude, I'm always excited for the top 100 stuff. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see your art. I can't wait to edit the montage. Myself, Wren, and Jordan are gonna have a good time doing the stream together. It's gonna be sweet. Yeah, I'm very excited. Question is, are you excited for the top 100 stream? I hope you are. Soto, for whatever reason, I can't like click. I can't end the poll on the pop out chat. I also can't pin comments. Do you mind just ending the poll, Sotomonte? Thank you. Heck yeah. All right, so we got the timing of this nice. I want to go through and give it some like wiggle and whatnot, because I think that's going to add a lot. And I want, let's see, I want this to slow down a little bit right here. Let's see if I can't give this Bezier. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. And it can go even slower too. I feel like we can push these guys further back. Let's push this a little bit. Cool. That locks in. Do I want to rotate this thing? All right, let's get these guys. Let's have these clamped down. So this is going to be, what axis is this? I'm just taking a guess. All right, it is the Z axis, local Z. So let's do that. It lands, and we'll make a keyframe here on local Z. What's the best way to do this? Z. We'll hit I here. Let me undo that. Let's actually insert a keyframe. Yep, same deal. Boom. And then clamp down. And make a keyframe. All right, so nothing happened. So it's probably the wrong axis. So what I'll do is select it. And we'll hit I to make a keyframe for everything. Move forward. Boom. Hit I, only selected channels. All right, so it looks like it's... What is this? It's that one. Okay, so I could delete all of that. Boom, it's that right there. So I'll grab those, I'll hit T, I'll make them linear. Yep. Clamp down, that feels good. I'll just scoot it back a little bit. Awesome. And we'll rep that for the other ones. So we'll make our keyframe, make our keyframe, make our keyframe. And we'll go to that point in time right there, boom. And we'll do that for the rest of these guys. All right, so it's not Z, which means it's X. No, it's Y. Clamped it. This one will be Z. I only selected keyframe. Same deal here. It's going to be X. Nope, it's going to be Y. Boom. It's okay, it's clipping right now. And then we'll make that keyframe. Boom. So I'm going to select all of these three. We're going to hit T down here. And actually, no, let's select all of our keyframes. Hit T, make them linear. And then I'm going to just delete everything that isn't what needs to be animated because it's a lot. Just cleaning it up. Yep, right there. Grab this one. Same deal. And this one back here. So what is this? Yeah, that's all good. All right, now let's give this a bit of life. Because these machines, they are linear, right? I'm moving them linearly. There's a little bit of easy ease, like in the way it moves out a little bit, but I want to give it some snappiness, some jiggle, some wiggle. Similar to how this is landing, right? You can look here. Boom. It like locks in place as if there's like these stabilizers on the camera right? And I want to have that with almost every element here. To have it like pop and lock in. I think that's fun. Manishka, I appreciate that. All right, so if I want to put one keyframe only on one axis, you can press the right mouse button on the Z axis up here. Oh, that's because I did it location. That's why I messed that up. And choose insert single keyframe. Insert single keyframe. That's the one. Yeah, thank you, Manishka. Also, Manishka, have you submitted yet? I noticed your whip was 1 frame short, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. Is there a reason I'm switching 3D software for each challenge? Well, I mean, I started out in C4D and back in R10. And then I switched because there were no tutorials for it. I was making tutorials for it at the time. But I was like, man, 3ds Max has all the good tutorials. So I switched to 3ds Max. And I was on 3ds for like 6 years, and that was like right when I moved out here with Freddie and Brandon and Sam and Nico, because they all use 3ds Max. So I was using what the people around me were using because they could teach it to me, and there were a lot of great tutorials. So I was using 3ds Max a lot. And then it wasn't until I went over to Corridor that I switched back to Cinema 4D because Paul Babb was there at the time at Maxon, and he came in and he was like, what do I got to do to get you guys on Cinema? And he got all of us back on Cinema, and it was awesome. We were loving it. 3D felt fun. It really did. And again, same deal. I was using Cinema because everyone around me is using Cinema. And until recently, honestly, it's because my subscription ran out, and I didn't have access to Cinema. So I was like, I need some 3D program, so I switched to Blender. That's the main reason, honestly. And I remember in the past, I was like, oh, should I switch to Blender if I'm using Cinema? And I was like saying no, because that's like, they do the same thing. They do the same thing. If you're already moving on one, then why switch to another? But for my situation, it just made sense to switch because, yeah, again, my subscription kept running out. And I was like, man, I don't want to deal with that anymore. So switch to Blender. Unreal is a different beast. That's great too because it's also free, right? Of course, there's no subscription. So I'm like, let me just get good with like software that's free, you know, especially since they're so powerful. Good, Manishka. Good, my friend. All right, so let's have this lock in. Like when this hits here, I want this to like get a little bit of wiggle. So let's find what's being animated. It is this one. And let's give it a little bit of elastic. All right, that's not gonna do anything. I need to make a keyframe out here. All right, so now the elastic is in effect. The amplitude is way too high. Holding shift helps out a little bit. Let's do that. That's intense. So the amplitude is, or the period rather, is way too intense. Or no, it is the amplitude. It's got to be so low. It's still too much, right? So 0.01 is still too much. 0.001. There's a little something there. Let's give it 0.0025, and let's take the period up. Something like that. But that's a little too intense, so we're gonna go 0.0015 with a -2 on the period. Just dial this in. Okay, that doesn't do anything. That actually feels, that's not bad. I want this to also have a little bit of jiggle to it, so let's get the elastic there. Bring that way down. All right, that's insane. So it almost needs like a little kicker, right? It needs one right here to like come to life, and then it moves, right? So it's like boom, comes online and then it starts moving. Right, so we need a little bit more. Why is nothing happening there? There it is, there it is. So I'm gonna have it hit right when the camera lands, actually. Right there. It's gonna have its own little movement. And we'll give it a little bit more period. Yeah. And it moves. Hits. Let's see, what if these hit at like different times? Bring this here. No. So I'm just looking in the top left. Let's also give this a bit of rotation too. So I want to take let's take this. All right, that does nothing. What about this? Okay, that's doing something. So I want to get it so it's like just rotating a little bit, probably from here to here. So let's take that. Let's make a keyframe on the X. Insert single keyframe. Let's come back and rotate it on local X. Oh my God, it's too much. Just a little bit right there. Nothing happened. Let's try Let's try making a keyframe on this quaternions. See what happens. Insert single keyframe. Back to here. Nothing? Nothing. All right. Let's make a keyframe for all of this. Rotation. We'll make another one. Try again. There we go. We got some movement. All right, so let's take all that and hit it with some linear, and we'll take these and let's move them back a little bit. Move this forward a little bit. We'll make a keyframe here for both of these. And here. And we'll give these guys a little bit of wiggle. A little bit of elastic. Yep, that's correct. And we'll work these values. I'm holding Alt to affect both of them at the same time. 0.01. Why is that not working? 0.01. 0.01. And maybe it needs to be more. Let's see. Yeah, all right. 0.05. That feels nice. All right. I think we're on to the next part. So this lift, we see some pretty significant clipping right here that I want to work with. And here as well on the chin. No, not streaming on Twitch, just here on YouTube. Everything here is on YouTube. I don't know if I guess the reason is because all my stuff is on YouTube already, so I'm like, let's just do that, you know. I don't know, should I stream on Twitch? Watching any series? No, not really. I'm more just playing video games. I started playing Metroid Fusion. I'm on the old DS here, so it's been fun, and I'm getting close to beating Cyberpunk. That's been a blast. I really enjoy that. Some Stardew Valley as well, but I'm really excited for this. Here, I'll show you. Where is it? One sec. I got Crow Country queued up right now. Yeah, this is fun. This is from Fangamer. If you guys don't know, fangamer.net is one of my absolute favorite places for indie game merch. Everything is so high quality, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's got like a manual. You remember when games came out with manuals? It's got one of these. It's got a map of everything. Let's see. Yeah. Physical map. I'm excited to play it. Very, very excited to play this game. But I gotta beat Cyberpunk first. Because it's difficult for me to play more than 2 things at once. Same for books, you know, I can't read 2 things at once unless it's like a fiction and a non-fiction or something. As far as game recommendations, shoot, yeah, I don't know. All those games I just mentioned, I gotta play Hades 2. Hades 1 is such a good game. I really want to play Absalom. They are the team who made the Streets of Rage 4 game. It came out a handful of years ago. Such a fun game. But Absalom is like the fantasy version, I think, of Streets of Rage. So I'm very excited for that. What was it? Gun Nose? I saw a Gun Nose trailer. Indie game. I love indie games. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Good times. Let's keep animating. All right, so we got to fix this clipping that's happening here. It's like this needs to start orbiting. How am I gonna do that? This needs to start orbiting a little bit in order for, let's see, we want the Y, world Y. Yeah, we need that first in order for it to be like picked up without clipping. So here it needs to get, we need to get to here, and then it gets lifted in. So maybe instead of it going like 1, 2, it does more of like a something like this, 1. And then this arm kind of like, it does a bicep curl essentially to get it to 2, like that. So let's see if we can get that going. All right, I'm gonna save a V5 and grab some water here. Yeah, that's what my friend has been trying to get me to watch, that show. I've heard good things. Also, is it? I saw the trailer. It didn't look like anything special. But I just heard from my brother like literally today that it's supposed to be like one of the best Resident Evils. I'm not hooked yet though. I'm not sold rather. I'm not sold. And I played like 8 hours of Mass Effect 1. I never got into 2. I know those are good games, but I feel like I just need to play 2. All right. So we have quite the web of keyframes down here. Let's see if we can't simplify all this. I think I'm going to start by deleting stuff that isn't animated. All right. So we move it up. We need to... Let's move all of this back. Give ourselves some space. And try... All right. All right, so that grabbed on. When that grabs on, maybe what we'll do is a little bit of like... So that grabs on, and then I want this to like kick in. So it goes like, like shakes a little bit. So let's give it like X and Y. We want a little bit of that. We want a little bit of that. And I guess we want Z as well. So let's make a keyframe. Let's make a couple keyframes. 555. 565. All right, yeah. Location, let's go insert keyframe XYZ. Same deal, insert keyframes XYZ. Let's select them all. Let's make them linear. And then let's give these guys a little bit of elastic. Whoa. And then let's chill them out. So I'll select those 3 and then hold Alt to affect them all at the same time. Still way too much. So let's hold Alt. Let's go 0.0015. That's very subtle. 0.005. It's too jolty. So let's take these out a bit further. Yeah. Something like that. And then let's change the period of some of these. So we'll go like 5 on that one. 3 on this one. All right, so they have a little bit of a different movement. But we want to see it from the top. So these clamp down. And then that engages. But it's a little too much still. So let's select the 3 axes. Holding Alt, let's go 0.003. Still too much. Holding Alt, 0.002. Let's try even subtler. 0.0015. Oh wow, I can't even do that. Okay. 0.001. I think that's right. 0.001, like super subtle with it. All right, and what happens if I move these up? Yeah, I like them further out. Okay, boom. Boom. And then we need to orbit this. So I'm going to start over. I feel like it needs to get to this position. Okay, I like this right here. This position right here is good. But I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to make another keyframe here. Oh, dang, what the frick? Gotta undo all that. Alright. Boom. Alright, we're good, actually. We have some... Well, we'll see, actually. Curious. Let's just go for it. Clamp. Boom. Then we start moving. So let's go. Something like this. And let's go ahead and rotate that thing. So they were clipping. I don't want to clip, so let's get it to there. It's cool. I'm going to hide this whole thing for now. So we'll do that, and then we'll do some sort of bicep curl. So we'll lock that. Let's make a keyframe on all of those. Boom. And we'll give it a little bit of wiggle. We'll select all those. That's insane. Now, rotation. I feel like I just need to give it. So let's see. It's only moving on one axis, I think. Unless it's moving on multiple. But it looks like it's moving on multiple here. It's definitely moving on multiple. Location is not being. No, I can't do that. Because we just animated our location. What? How did that go away? There we go. Okay. Boom. This is why I save different versions. right, so all of that. Let's hit the... Let's make some more keyframes out here. And throw elastic on those. That's going to be rotation, rotation, rotation. It's all rotation. And holding Alt. 0.002. Nothing is happening. Let's try 0.1. Yep. 0.01. So one of these axes is not what we want, and I don't know which one it is, so I'm just going to start deleting ones. Until it looks right. We got to figure out which one it is. So that doesn't feel right, that one there. What about just that one? That one doesn't feel right either. I think that might be the one. Hard to say. Maybe both of these guys. Yes, Muppet? Yes, you want to join? Come on. Yes. A wild Muppet has appeared. Do you have anything to say? Nothing to say? You gonna hang out? You wanna hang out? Alright. No pressing buttons now. I know, she's gonna delete all my files. It's a little crowded up here, Muppet. Yes. She can't make up her mind. Alright, see you soon. Oh, Muppet. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right to me. Maybe... Let's see. Maybe it just needs to be all of them. Like we had. But just subtle. Yeah, or we set these to 0. We delete these guys. And it's like it's vertical. So it'd be a Z. Let me grab that. Elastic. And we chill it out. Way out. See, but that doesn't look great from camera view. I think it needs a little bit of horizontal as well. So let's hit it with the same deal. 0.01. Oh, I meant X. Totally meant X. Yeah, okay, something like that. And let's do 0.005. Cool. Boom. And then we'll go from here. We want it to rotate up. Boom. And I want to get it to, let's see. So from there, let's put every keyframe on it. So we'll do location and rotation for everything. And I want to get it to basically to something like this. And we'll get rid of all the elastic on that. Jeez. What? Hold on. Okay, it's because of the elastic on this. How do I just get rid of the elastic? Okay, I guess that is how. Yeah, that's close. That's very close. Just a bicep curl. Yep. Uh-huh. And then I would lock in place. right there. And let's refine this. Something like that. And it'd be cool if it like rotated a little bit too. But this is the position it needs to be in when the needle inserts. I wonder if the rotation can happen over here. It gets picked up. Maybe it rotates here. Like there or something. Let's see. No. Maybe like that, I guess. Locks in there, and then it rises up one final push and locks into that 45 degree or something. Cool. And then we'll give it a little bit of side to side wiggle. So it'd be one of these. So it should just be X location. Hitting I, make that keyframe. And let's give it some elastic. Yeah, that's correct. And we'll extend that out. Nice. Let's go 0.002 on that. 0.003. And we'll give it a little bit of Z as well. .003 with like a period of 5. Which we're not really seeing from the top. But that's okay. And then the last move, it gets pushed up and rotates in. So from here, let's move forward. In time here, let's push it up. And rotate it. On the 45, it also needs to come in about like this, something like that. Cool. And then let's lock that in, hit K for the keyframe, location and rotation. Boom. And it gets pushed up. So the rotation, I think, is this guy. That needs to come back down to this point here. So that is 0.505. 0.505. This guy as well. Negative 0.48. Negative 0.48. Probably this one too. 0.306. 0.503. Dang, it's still okay. This one, jeez. Negative 0.511. All right, and also moving down, we don't want that. This needs to be negative 0.149. Boom, there we go. And then we'll get a little bit of Z rotation for the wiggle. Here, I believe, we'll make that keyframe. No, I don't think it's that one. It's not that one. It's all these off-axis keyframes. I don't know. I don't know why I can't do like a world axis. So Montage, do you have any idea on that? Like, I want to rotate the world Z here, but all my keyframes down here seem to be locals. He's calibrating. Okay. Weird. All right, maybe what we can do. I guess it would just be all of them. Same deal as last time. Ah, but it's crazy. Why? Yeah, it feels like finicky, where it's like I don't want to add too much stuff because it's already getting kind of crazy. It's feeling crazy. See, is this even okay? Let's save another version. Oh, that kind of works. I like that. All right, so now I need to figure out why it's doing this noisy movement business. Maybe I just set all of this to linear. All right, it's still moving. Still wiggling here. What is doing that? So I remember. It's just on the X. Probably for this. X location. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's like that is being... Oh, wow, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know how to switch to Euler or Euler. I don't know where that would be. I'm not too concerned about that right now. I'm concerned about why this is moving when I don't want it to move. Like, what is that? It's got to be this, because this is what's driving everything. Under rotation, it says mode. Don't know where that is. Under rotation. Rotation mode. I see. So now it's all screwed up. Nope. Sticking to that. Yeah, okay, the X. So when I scrub it, those values are changing. When do they start changing? Yeah, I'm thinking it's some sort of elastic situation, but there's literally no other keyframe on this thing. It could be a modifier. Oh, it's the noise modifier. Done. Boom. Yes. But once it's locked in, I do want some noise and movement, but let's go ahead and clean up all of this business first. So I want the timing of this be a certain way, right? Because in the montage or in the intro sequence, it's this moment here. So here are our title cards. I want to land, come up into frame, and then this starts, and then this hits basically right as the skull is like in position. So we essentially have like frame 1515 to 1825. So we essentially have a little over 3 seconds to get the skull in position. A little over 3 seconds. So that's 90 frames to get this thing in position. So right when that thing lands, boom, we have 90 frames. So it has to be 467, 567. Dang, that is not a lot of time. Boom. 470 to 570. Dude, that's fast. Shoot. All right. I'll be back in 1 minute. See you guys soon. Yo. All right, let's do it. So yeah, we got 90 frames to do all this, man. Good stuff. 470 to 570. Okay. So let's just tighten all this stuff up. So getting there is going to be these guys and this guy. Yeah, there's no way I can do it in 3 seconds. All right, that's close enough. Let's get this needle arm figured out. All right. So this thing is being controlled by this. Is it? Yeah. By this guy. And it's being pointed here. This is what's pointing it. So we gotta fix that a little bit. All right, so let's figure this thing out. Let us delete this and delete this. And this thing, yep, is the target. And this is the arm. Awesome. So when do we want this to hit? I'm wondering if this right here, if it should hit here. And that would look something like, if this guy was, let's see, let's get this. So that's where it needs to go. Right, and this is there. Wait, that's weird. Huh. Pose mode. There we go. This actually needs to be down here. So like, yeah, what would that look like? From here, boom. And then it would be connected and the rest would happen. Let's see. Let this set inverse. Set inverse, full influence, and now it's moving with it. It'd be something like that. So it's either that or it enters when it hits here, which I would rather it hit here and then it twists together because it just looks cooler. Like the IK is working, you see it working. So, boom, it locks in. It would need to wait a beat before this moves up. So it would need to hold to give it time for this to land and then it moves together. So let's take the influence off. Take this influence off. And get this in place here. So Alt-G, Alt-G, we're gonna reset position of everything. But that seems to, there we go. I just want to make sure, where is this at? I want to move this out. I want to see this. Awesome. All right. So this is where it's landing. Right here. When this lands, this needs to get there. Let's do, how do we want to do this? These guys are completely separate from each other. If this has influence turned up, and this moves, they move together now. I'm gonna drop that for a sec. So they'll probably move together. This hits here. And then this guy needs to essentially get into position. So it's looking at this top piece right here. So let's take this guy, let's make a location keyframe here. We'll move it forward. I'm not going to worry too much about timing. I just want to hit those main beats. And I want to get it positioned right where the cursor is. So we'll go selection to cursor. And I want to drop it down to there. And we'll make a keyframe on location. Select all of those, hit T, make them linear. So now it's pointed in the right direction. Awesome. Next, what we'll do is we'll animate the arm. Let's find the point where the target animates. And we want to get this basically in line. So let's hit probably just location. Let's try location. And we'll land this right here. And let's do the same thing. Let's actually put it selection to cursor and then just back it off. Right there. So it's queued up. Something like that. And we'll make that location keyframe. So that queues it up. Let's do the same thing. Hit A to select them all, T for interpolation, and we'll set them to linear. from here, all we have to do is animate this in. So we'll hold it, copy those keyframes, and move it in toward the skull here. Like so. Sweet. And then from there, once it lands, we're going to animate the influence of these. So let's go and set inverse for both of these guys. And we'll go ahead and make a keyframe for both as well. You guys know the hotkey for, actually, Montage, do you know the hotkey for moving forward by one frame? Dot, left and right arrow. Let's see. Okay. Left and right. Yeah, left and right. Thank you. And then, oh yeah, we'll go influence to 1, make the keyframe, go back a frame, same deal. Influence 0, make a keyframe, move forward 1, go to 1, make a keyframe. So after this point, now it's moving together. Sick. Now we just smooth out this arm movement. And this can start moving too, like here. Maybe take these and scoot them over. That's pretty quick. But from here, this doesn't look that fast. It doesn't look as fast as this. And I want the rotation of this needle to happen a little bit afterwards. After it lands. Because everything just snapping in place at the same time doesn't feel as realistic. So let's see, that would be this guy here. It's actually feeling worse now. So maybe getting everything to land at the same time is the move. We just need that wiggle. So right when that lands, right when that needle lands, I want to get this influence business locked in because I want it to, let's see. Boom. I want this whole thing to shake. What the frick? Where is this happening? Why can't I see it? That's weird. Alright, well here, I'll just do it. I'll just redo it. All right, so right there, it should be 1. 0. Keyframe. 1. And then now, if we move this, yeah, should be good. So that's bam. We're gonna make a keyframe. Where do we want to do this? It'll be a location situation. Location X. Just do all the locations. We'll hit K. Location. Why didn't it do Y? Wah! Nice. Boom, and then we should be moving right here. So the rest of this stuff, we can scoot, whoa, we can scoot back to here. And then let's give this a little bit of life. The needle. There. It needs the wiggle. Let's try all of them. And let's give this a Bezier curve. That feels better. Cool. And then I'd probably want this to kick the life as well. Maybe all these. That feels better. And maybe something here. We'll keyframe the location and give that a bit of elastic before it starts moving. Looks a little bit weird though. Wait, 005. Wait. And that's when we'll start the noise rotation. Awesome. Very nice. Yeah, let's have that be a little bit heavier. Right there. Even more. Cool. And I wonder, even if the camera moves too, so we could do like, yeah, we'll go here. Move it forward a little bit. Make another keyframe and then give this a bit of elastic. Just a little bit. Just for some extra impact, you know? Let's go 0.005. Cool. Yeah, let's give this some movement too, just like this claw has some movement. We'll give this a bit of movement. Maybe some forward and back. This. Yeah, right there. All right, boom. We'll go a Y, single. That's insane. And right about, maybe right about there. Oh, what? Oh, dang. Okay, hold on. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Oh, but it needs to go the opposite way. -4. Yeah. Then I feel like this one, when it lands, instead of going forward and back, I feel like it needs to go. All right, what's doing that? It's this guy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it needs to be on the Y. This. But it really needs to be this one? Ah, blast. It needs to be both of them. Can it just be this one though? Let's try it. Okay, that's up and down. And that's forward and out, so it's got to be Z. Oh my God. I guess. That's fine. I feel like this last movement isn't necessary. And that just over time, maybe it gets there. Yeah, from here to there. Okay. Let's see. Let's move all of this stuff way out. So just kind of floating. almost. And it's gonna be, let's see. Be 35 seconds. So what is that? 35 seconds times 30 frames per second is 1050. So yeah, we gotta be 1050. Start frame, I believe, is 0. It's either 0 or 1. Let's see what the render says. 0, yep. All right, and then let's give it some noise. So let's select these keyframes. Let's figure this out. Actually, we want rotation. I don't think we need... God dang. All right, let's figure out this this noise. So I don't think we need up and down noise. That's kind of cool. I like that noise. Same there. It's good noise. All right, so let's add a modifier. We'll add the noise modifier. We want it to start at frame 730. Where is it? Restrict frame range. Start at 730 and at 1050. We'll just call it 2000. It'll go all the way. And then we want it to blend in. All right, and that's insane. That's the robot losing its mind. We don't want that. Let's take the scale down to 0.1, 0.01, 0.0001. Interesting. All right. We don't want to replace it. We want to add it. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go back. Yeah, we'll blend it. And let's see. Blend type. Replace or add. I guess it's a replace, huh? Because it's still moving up here. The strength. Yeah, the strength is what we want to change. That's too much. That's still the robot losing its mind. Let's take the scale up. Too smooth? Let's take the frame range and loop this segment. .5 is too much. Let's try 3.5 and take the strength to like 0.05. Let's give it 0 blend, just so we know what we're dealing with at all times. .035. All right, let's see about this noise. So the roughness, what if I just take it to 10? Does that do anything? Offset, the phase, the depth. What does more depth give us? Fine level detail. So if I take the scale up, interesting. All right, it's very subtle. All right, that's fun. I like that. All right, I think that's pretty sweet. Cool. All right, so let's animate the focus. And it starts on, let's see. Yeah, it starts down here, it moves up to here, and then looks like, yeah, it locks right in with it. Perfect. Sweet. I definitely do a test render here to figure out timing and everything. So I want to mess with the lighting a little bit first. So yeah, I think I kind of wanted to start with the lighting like this, and then once we grab on, I think it locks in. Once it locks in, I think I want the lighting to like flicker out and switch to this one. So let's see if we can't do that really quick. So once it lands, let's see, there. Boom. I want these guys to animate. So the power. And then I want them to flicker out to 0. So we'll drop them to 0 and make that keyframe. And then it would be sweet to give it a little bit of noise. So it like has a spike, maybe. Boom. It spikes up to like something bright like that. And then drops down. Yep. Yeah, something like that. And then maybe we give this a bit of noise. So it's like flickery, a little flickery maybe? Nah, maybe not those ones. I think I want this one to be flickery. So we'll take this area light. Once we land, here, I want this thing to like snap to life. So we'll take the area light. We'll give it a power of 0, keyframe it, and I want it to flicker on and be on like at this point. Back to 3. We can set it to linear, and I want to give this one some noise so it like flickers on and off really intensely. So can I do that? I can. Noise. The range will be where do we have 469 to 509. So that's our noise bit there. All right, so let's do this. Scale it up. And I want these to be more like on off versus fade in, fade out. What does subtract look like?
Maybe you can try another modifier that's like steps or something like that.
Yeah.
After the noise.
So it'd be, let's see, is there a step thing? Is there a step modifier? What is that? Stepped interpolation? Yeah. That's it. So what if I just delete this? I see. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's sick. I think it needs to be half the time though. Like that, so it goes to 500. And then maybe from there, it's like an auto exposure thing where like it goes from, what is it? Power of 3. Maybe it's a power of, we'll say 3 for now. To 2.75. So it like drops a little bit. And then when this thing hits, boom, I think the light will flicker again. Right there. From there. I think that's it, yeah. So there. So another noise modifier. Yeah, with the steps, but with the restricted frame range. Of 637. 654. And it needs to be intense. So what is this guy? This was 4 and 6.4. Or with some depth. Full roughness. But it needs to be more intense. Yeah, and I could probably get these lights flickering throughout the rest of the shot as well. But I'll mess with that later. Alright, I'm gonna render this thing. A little test render. And see what it looks like. And then we're gonna move on to the weekly challenge. Insect is the theme. and then we'll be all caught up. And I believe we're starting the weekly challenge very soon. If not today. Is Visual still here? You might have some insight on that. And dude, yes, I would love to experiment with Toon Shader. We'll see how much time I have, but I think that will be really sweet with this. Yeah, very anime vibes. That combined with some film emulation would be sweet. Sweet. And yes, next week the weekly challenge goes live on the Discord server. All right, let me just set up an export and then we'll get this weekly challenge figured out. Awesome. All right. 820 by 1080, 30 FPS. Yes. All right, I think we're good to go. Wait. All right, Soto, do we want to switch over to the weekly challenge here? Oh, wait. Oh, I got to re-render. Hold on. I need these projector lights off. Let's try that again. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, Sotomonte, let's do it. All right, so as mentioned, the weekly challenge was Insect. There's going to be 5 winners, and the rest are honorable mentions, which all of you guys get points on the Discord server. Let's turn down this ISO. All right. So our first winner is XYL with this like Lego bee type of situation. I love this. I love your colors. I love the depth of field. It's photorealistic. It's very fun. The lighting is very nice. This is just super solid. I think you did 2 renders as well, 2 different angles, which was super cool. Next up, we have Under is our second winner. Look at this comp work. Really well done. Those materials are great. So good. With the loop as well, my God. Dude, the subsurface on that plastic material is perfect. Great lighting, great comp work. Yeah, really nice Under. Supreme 618 is next with this freaking awesome little sequence you put together. You said a Men in Black reference. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I need to watch it again. Yeah, that was my childhood. Really nice. Great work. Great lighting. Great camera work. Really nice overall. Congratulations to you, my friend. Caps is next. Absolutely disgusting. Great materials. Great lighting. Great idea. Very well executed. I just would have put, I would have put a bug inside of the eyelid. That would have been the topper. But man, really nice work. Congratulations, Caps. And finally, our last winner for the Insect Weekly Challenge is Filipski. You modeled and textured and lit this bug from scratch. I thought that was awesome. It looks really nice. Very well done, my friend. So congratulations to our 5 winners. And we got some honorables to get into. Tony 480. Very well lit scene here, my friend. Yes, well composed. You did a lot in a short amount of time. So my notes for you on this. The camera work is very what's the word? It feels very unrealistic. If you look at it, it's just linear. It's very linear. I would give it a bit more kind of a natural feel to it. It just needs to be smoothed out. You can probably use these noise keyframes or the noise modifiers that we were using in Blender for the lights, but for the camera to give it a bit more of a realistic feel to it. The second thing, I don't know what is going on in the scene. I think the story just needs a little bit of work. I see that like one of these ants is getting picked up by a wasp or something, so it's an attack. But this big ant with the basket on his head is not reacting at all to that attack. Are they afraid or not? I don't understand. And then the dragon that you have flying through your scene feels very disconnected. Like it looks like it's an ants in a wasp world, but there's a dragon back there. It feels a bit confusing. The way it comes in so quick as well is a bit distracting. Like my eyes go there and I miss the wasp attacking that ant right behind the cart. You also have the second wasp fly in from the right that is drawing my eye as well. So you want to be mindful of where you want the viewer to look. Because right now it feels like there's a lot going on. It's kind of chaotic. It's not very targeted, I guess. So it's just a bit of confusion on the story and guiding the eye. So I'd work on that a little bit. Who's next? Game Factory. I love this one, man. You almost won. Very, very close. Yeah, classic, man. Little Silent Hill setup. So my main note for you here is to essentially, it's just the body, the shape of the body. I want to know 100% that that's a body. So I would move them. I'd probably rotate them on the Z-axis just so like we can tell it's the shape of a body a little bit more. That's all I really want from that. Next up, honorable mention, we got Swizzlefish. I thought this was cool. Yeah, nice colors, nice lighting, good materials, really nice render quality, good stuff all around. Probosky is next as honorable mention. You modeled this. I thought this was just a cool shape. Really cool idea. Nice hand model you did there. I wanted to shout you out. Love those colors too. Obliv is next, honorable. Yeah, I mean, solid composition. Great lighting. I'd probably tilt the camera down just a hair, pan to the left just a hair, and maybe like rotate the camera on its side, right? Just a little bit. So that the right side kind of rotates up, the left side rotates down. So it's kind of the horizon shifts and slants just a little bit. I'd give it a little bit of that. Marcus Seam is our next honorable. I thought these were really cool materials. I liked your lighting. I liked your photorealism. Wanted to shout you out there. Maybe it's a little blurry. It'd be nice to see that thing a little bit more. Just back off a little bit on like the depth of field or something. I don't know if there's like a post-process blur going on or what, but it's just a little hazy. Lord Cabbage is next. Dude, this thing. If I got stung by that, dude, we'd be done for. Look at the teeth on that thing. That's insane. I thought this was a fun render. Nice lighting. Good model you got there. Jacqui is next. This one came close to winning as well. I thought this was really cool. I would just get closer. I'd push the camera in a bit closer on those guys. But yeah, your lighting is nice. I like your colors. Good stuff. Jack the Hack. He modeled an ant, a bee. I don't know what that is. But I thought that was pretty nice. That eye looks great. Love all the fur too. Disgusting. Who's next? We got Ensemble with a nice drawing. Well, no, this is actually, I think, rendered. And then you got some shaders on it. I thought it was fun. I could see that as album art, to be honest. I would give yourself, you see how both of your insects are falling off frame left and right, I would try and like get them in a little bit closer so that you're not clipping the frame, and give us a little bit more top and bottom detail. This one feels like it wants to be a widescreen format, but it's square. So I would fill out the top and bottom a bit more to justify the square aspect ratio. Dead Pixel Anim is next. Solid lighting. Really dug the lighting on this one. Good color too. Yeah, very nice. CD the Third is next. I mean, man, you got a really well lit scene, and there's a lot going on, but at the same time, it feels very empty. It feels very like unjustified. I guess the closest comp for this is Terminator, like T2, with the robot just like standing in the front, and then like all of the mayhem is going on in the background. But like the camera movement you have just feels very unjustified. It feels like maybe we should have been doing that camera move across the entire shot. The character itself feels a little dead as well. They're an organic character. I feel like we'd be getting more. I don't know why they're just standing there. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit more like on the story and on just justifying the camera move a little bit. Those floaters in the foreground are moving a little slow as well. But yeah, I think it just needed a little bit more movement or something. But man, your lighting is great and good scene detail. Billy Cobb is next. This one just made me laugh. Yeah, very funny. Big fan. Who's next? Backyard VFX Bro. Yeah. Really nice, like tree material you got there. I dig the bug. Yeah, I think maybe you can punch in a little bit more, get a little bit closer. Our subject is pretty small in frame. But I liked your colors. I liked your lighting and your materials. And I think last but not least is Estrella 12. Really nice photorealism. Great lighting. Reminds me of the cover of... Why am I blanking on that movie? The serial killer movie with Anthony Hopkins. Shoot. Yeah, it's like that cover, basically. A little bit of hair next time, maybe? I don't know. Maybe the moth could be a bit bigger. But these are just little nitpicks. I love, yeah, the lighting and the color is really nice. Photorealism is crazy. Really good stuff. Silence of the Lambs. Thank you. Thank you, friends. And yeah, that's it. Good luck to everybody submitting over the weekend tomorrow. Please get it in before the deadline of 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The second it hits Monday the 2nd in LA, it's over. So please do not submit late. Triple check your work. Make sure it's 120 frames long, 30 frames per second, and either HD or 4K resolution. Check the tech specs. They're on the website. Good luck, everybody. I can't wait to see your art. I can't wait to put it to music. It's going to be so awesome. And I think with that, it's time to bounce. Wish me luck for finishing this intro title sequence. It's going to be a crazy 2 weeks until I see you guys next. A lot of work to be done, but I think we can get there. Good luck, everybody. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, for joining me for all of these live streams throughout the month. And yeah, good luck. We'll see you soon. Peace.